All right, good morning. This is a shortened version of the recorded lesson that we did today in class. So you're going to notice in the Google Classroom for the Wednesday live session that there is a slideshow attached, and you have a copy of that slideshow, and you are able to answer questions on that slideshow. So what I want you to do, if you were not able to attend the recorded session today, or if yours completely glitched out, you're going to go ahead and watch this video. And at the same time that you're watching this video, I want you to pull open the slideshow that is posted in the Google Classroom for Wednesday, and then you can answer questions as I'm going through the lesson. So you can pause me and then come back to me. So to start with, you can go ahead and tell me how you're doing today. Anywhere on the slideshow that you need to answer something, it'll be highlighted in yellow. We went over some announcements today in the live session. Be sure to check PowerSchool today and complete any missing or incomplete assignments. Once these assignments are done, let me know. Email or resubmit the assignments in the Google Classroom. And also make sure when you take a look at this week's agenda, let me know if you have any questions. So today's live session focused on why is government necessary? So the first thing I want you to think about is, why do we have laws? So you can go ahead right in the slideshow, just double click next to that question and you can type your answer into the slideshow. Why do we have reason? Why do we have laws? Give me one reason. When you're done with that, tell me then the next slide, you're going to see an answer here. Again, double click on the box. What would our world be like without laws? Okay, then what I want you to do, when in our live session, we used our imaginations, and I want you to pretend like we are stranded. Our planes crashed somewhere in the South Pacific. We are stranded on a deserted tropical island. We've made signs, signal fires, and have been trying to contact the outside world for over a week with no success. There is not a sign of help on the way. We need to move to plan B. This is my really awesome picture of where we're stranded. You can see in the South Pacific. We might be here for a while. It's time to organize and plan for the long term. We know that we're in a tropical region where it rains often, that there's beach areas, dense jungles and hills. There's boars, fish, fruit trees, so we have some food. We know that some of the supplies that we salvaged from the wreck include first aid kits, bottled water, dinner trays, and some suitcases are washing up on the shore. So next thing I want you to answer on the slideshow, what do we need to do first in order to survive for a long period of time? So as a class in the comment section today in our live session, we discussed what we needed first, right? We need food, shelter, water, the necessities. But then we also realized that we needed to peacefully live together to survive. So we created a list of important issues to discuss. Students during our live session used a Jamboard to put their answers. The Jamboard worked some, but it also didn't let some kids on. So for this version, you're going to answer questions on the slideshow that you're working on and the slides that follow. So first question that I want you to think about is, why should we have a leader? I want you to give some reasons on your slide. Then I want you to think about, why should we not have a leader? Give some reasons. So let me back up really quick. In our live session, everyone decided that, most people I should say, decided that we should have a leader. So from there, we started talking about, how should we choose our leader? So you want to list your thoughts. In our live session, most students came up with the fact that we should vote on a leader. So we decided in our live session that yes, we should have a leader, and that leader should be voted into power. So I want you to think about now, who should decide ownership of property? Who decides on jobs? Type your thoughts there. In our live session, we came up with a mixture of things. Some people thought the government, the leader, should decide the jobs and who owns things. Other people thought that everyone should have that choice. The next question I want you to think about, what types of laws should we have and who enforces them? And in our live session, students came up with everything from no murdering, no stealing, no kidnapping. A few students thought we shouldn't have laws. Who enforces them? Some people thought we should have a police force. Some people said no. And then lastly, what happens if people break a law? What if they disagree with the leader? I want you to type your thoughts on the slideshow, but then keep in mind in our live session, students' thoughts ranged. Some students thought if people break a law, they should be put in jail. Most students agreed that there should be consequences. Some students thought if they disagreed with the leader, they should be thrown in jail. Some thought nothing should happen. So we wrapped up our answers to those questions with why governments are important. So to begin with, governments are important regardless of the type because of your role of government. So governments make and change laws. They preserve order and defend against enemies. They decide how much people should pay in taxes and how that money should be spent. Governments can control access to education and healthcare depending on the type of government. They decide if people have the right to elect those in power, and governments will also control military and foreign relations. In our live session, we started to get into the fact that not all governments are created equal. You have unlimited governments where there's rule by one person or a group with total power. The authority of the leader has no limits. Everyone else follows strict laws, and citizens are not guaranteed rights. You also have limited governments. And in those types of governments, everyone, including the leader, must obey the laws. The constitutions limit power, so leaders cannot take advantage of the people. Leaders are elected fairly by the citizens, and citizens have rights and they can express dissent, meaning disagreement. The last thing I want you to think about and put on your slideshow is why should a government be limited or unlimited, and why? And what do we live under? So when we wrap things up in our live session today, students had a mixture of thoughts. Some said limited, some said unlimited, some said they don't know yet. I can tell you the United States is a limited government, and we will get more into that next week when we learn more about limited and unlimited, and we get into our first type of government, which is democracy. As usual, let me know if you have any questions, and have a wonderful rest of your day.